End of bipartidismo, a new era of Spanish politics. Since the early days of the Spanish political transition, the bipartidismo was what set the trend, but in the last years, other parties have joined PP and PSOE in the fight for the Congress seats. Parties like Unidas Podemos, Ciudadanos, and especially Vox. Vox registered it in 2013 and participated in their first elections in 2014. Vox officially registered as a political party on December 13, and their first focus was the upcoming European elections on May 2014. Leader of the party, Santiago Abascal. The current leader of the party is Santiago Abascal. He was born in Álava and graduated sociology from college. In his early political career, he was a promising member of Nuevas Generaciones, which is PP's youth group. He resigned from his job in PP with a letter full of criticism towards the leader of the party in that moment, Mariano Rajoy. Abascal didn't approve at all the way Rajoy had handled situations like the Catalan crisis or ETA's policies. Other current or former important members: Javier Ortega Smith, José Luis González Quirós, and Alejo Vidal Quadras. Other important members of the party are Javier Ortega Smith, the current General Secretary; José Luis González Quirós, a former member of PP and one of the strongest members of Vox in the beginning; and Alejo Vidal Quadras, once an European deputy for PP and the first head of the electoral list in Vox history. Both González Quirós and Vidal Quadras are no longer members of the party. First event that got them in the spotlight: Gibraltar 2016 and Vistalegre 2018. Vox didn't get many media attention in its first years of existence. They started to get attention in 2016, when some members of the party, like Ortega Smith, went to Gibraltar to show a giant Spanish flag. 2 years later, in 2018, they organized a rally in the Palacio de Vistalegre, in Madrid, where they gathered over 10,000 people. Evolution in the elections, from not getting seats in 2014 to being the third Spanish party more represented in the Congress. Vox obtained nearly 250,000 votes in their first election, the 2014 European ones. Those votes didn't get them many seats in the European Parliament. Their first elections on Spanish territory were the regional ones in Andalusia. They also didn't do great there. From that point, however, they started getting more and more relevance and gaining more and more votes. That led them to being the third most voted party in the latest general elections in Spain, a great achievement for a party with only 6 years of existence and that spent 2 trying to get seats in the different elections that were held.
Ideology and political speech. Vox's speech has been analyzed by several experts who have concluded that it brings together all the ideological elements characteristic of a far-right party, including proposals related to culture, immigration, and security. Therefore, we fit Vox into the group of right-wing populists. Nationalism. Vox can never be detached from nationalist sentiment. The patriotic component is one of the key elements of the party, starting with its motto, La España Viva, the Alive Spain. Vox enacts an exultant patriotism considering the unity of Spain an essential priority. Immigration. They argue that it is not a matter of skin color but of the mentality of each country, denying the xenophobic political label, calling for a fight against illegal immigration, and posing immigration in cultural, not economic or social terms. International policy. Few measures but consist as strengthening the borders with the aim of making them impassable and building a wall in Ceuta and Melilla, and demanding Morocco recognition and respect for the Spanish sovereignty of Ceuta and Melilla and the United Kingdom, the return of Gibraltar, putting as justification the weight of history. Economy. Vox economy program is liberal but protectionist. The party defends the weight loss of the state and the welfare state and the strengthening of private activity and economic freedom. Feminism and family. The party defends the concept of traditional family and criticizing social and cultural avant-gardes such as feminism. Vox called for the repeal of the gender violence law and the promotion of a law on domestic violence which protects equally any member of the family, regardless of their sex or age. Vox pacts in Spain have been primarily with Ciudadanos and Partido Popular, both center-right parties. However, Vox doesn't hold positions in any of said governments and limits itself to casting its votes in favor of the budget and the processing of other laws. In the European Parliament, Vox have also shown this distance since it hasn't been integrated into identity and democracy. The group made up of these parties that also includes others with the same ideology as AfD in Germany or SPD in Czech Republic. Currently, Vox serves a group in the Euro chamber with Flemish nationalists, the Polish ultra-Catholics Law and Justice, and the Italian Fratelli Party. Furthermore, the party has shown great attunement to Viktor Orban, Hungarian Prime Minister, and admiration for Donald Trump, United States President.
Vox has grown enormously in the last few years. It has passed from the irrelevance to becoming the third most important party in Spain, with 52 deputies in the Congress. We point out two main factors to explain this growth. The first of these factors is the political situation in Spain, and the second one is the communication strategy and use of social media. We need to have into account that we fit Vox in populism, which is a phenomenon that has expanded through Europe since the 28 crisis. There are left and right-wing populist party, and we consider Vox a right populist party, which advocates for a more conservative and nationalistic society, and also rejects globalism and socialist policies. Regarding the political situation in Spain, we point out 5 issues that have contributed to the growth of Vox. The first of them is Partido Popular ideology, as Partido Popular, which has been the conservative party per excellence since the restoration of democracy in Spain, has become a more centrist party in the last years, and especially during Rajoy government. This has caused that some conservative groups don't feel represented by Partido Popular anymore, and Vox, which is a conservative force, a more conservative force than Partido Popular, has attracted these voters. Therefore, we must say that point 1 and point 3 are related between them. The second issue is the Catalan independence process, because since 2011 there has been a movement in that region that claims for independence. This has caused that many people select this issue as one of its main concerns because they feel that the unity of Spain is in danger. This has allowed Vox to attract many voters, as the party has the hardest speech regarding this issue. They defend the legalization of pro-independence parties and the suspension of the autonomy in order to finish with this problem. Next, we point the bad political situation, which is a common phenomenon in Europe since the crisis of 2008. This has caused the rise of new parties and populism, both right and wing populism. In Spain, the traditional parties have lost many voters in favor of new formations, such as Podemos, Ciudadanos, and more recently Vox, which has presented itself to society as a different part from the rest. This has caused many people tired with the current political system to vote for them because they are fresh air, new ideas, new faces, and that's something that many people is looking for, as they are upset of traditional politicians and political parties. Finally, we mention immigration. Although it's not a problem that affects the entire country, it affects much more those areas of the southern Spain in which agriculture is an important economic activity. We must say that a trend has been consolidated in the last elections. In those places with a higher percentage of immigrants living, Vox obtains a better electoral result. The reason why Vox obtains better results in these areas is because the party has a tough speech regarding immigration. It bets on reinforcing borders in Ceuta and Melilla, expelling illegal immigrants, radical imams, and legal immigrants who commit a serious crime. The second key element to explain why Vox has become the third most voted force in Spain is its communication strategy. The speech of Vox follows the typical outline of populism. It proposes easy and direct answers to big problems, even though their proposals are not realistic. Furthermore, they use aggressive and even insulting language with other political parties and media outlets, and appeals to feelings such as patriotism in order to attract people. The objective is to get closer to the language of the street, to show people that they are not a typical political party. We must also have into account that Vox uses social networks as its main communication channels, since through them the party can place the message the way they want. They use graphic resources and memes to attract users' attention and extol the symbols related to Spain. Vox communication strategy has been very successful. This is confirmed by its large numbers of followers on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
The fact that Vox is the most followed party on Instagram is not a coincidence. They follow a very defined path when posting and divide their accounts to carry out a targeting process. The first thing to take into account is that Santiago Abascal, the leader of the party, has more followers than the party itself, and this is because he uses his profile as an influencer. Like it is seen in these two pictures, he shows much more things than just his job, politics. For example, family, lifestyle, hobbies, and uses hashtags that are commonly used in Instagram so that the network actually collocates his profile as the one of anyone else, and this provides a feeling of closeness. Vox Jóvenes, Vox Noticias, and Vox Es are the main accounts of the party, and they always use an aggressive tone towards the government and whoever they consider as the enemies of Spain. They use humor because they know that way the publications will be shared, and they use a lot of adjectives. Vox Noticias is used to criticize the censorship they say the party has in traditional media. Vox Jóvenes, Vox Noticias, and Vox Es are the main accounts of the party, and they always use an aggressive tone towards the government and whoever they consider as the enemies of Spain. They use humor because they know that way the publications will be shared, and they use a lot of adjectives. Vox Noticias is used to criticize the censorship they say the party has in traditional media, giving the feeling of being a victim of power and trying to create viral hashtags that will afterwards be very commentated, like Gobierno Gran Hermano or Big Brother Government. They have a special account for young people where they show content of their younger members and create challenges for young voters, who, by the way, are the biggest users of Instagram. This way, they create a target audience that then responds in a very concise way, placing Vox as the main followed party in social networks. To achieve this, the use of personal pronouns in their publications is very important. They normally use they, the pronoun they, to create distance between the party and the government, once again placing the government as the enemy, and the use of the pronoun our to create a feeling that the party itself forms part of the regular population of the country. This way, through language, they include themselves inside the affected community by the measures taken by the government, and they create a very big distance with language from the ruling government.
When analyzing Vox Instagram, we have realized how they do express their ideas through symbols and different strategies. Their ideas are reflected in that Instagram by the use of patterns repeated in some photos where they use different visual points in order to make people understand better their way of thinking. It is very common to see the Spanish flag in order to make the people feel proud of their country, or images related with traditional values of Spain, like family, religion, and traditions. Among the strategies, we can find how they have used tricks like the constant support to livestock and agriculture in a call to what is named La España Vacía, or the glorification of the leaders, where having some videos where Santiago Abascal is described as the ideal leader for this country, being a brave man and a perfect president, Other strategies have gone to the veneration of the glorious past, just to make, in the same sense, make the people feel proud of their countries, and the ridiculization of rivals. As you can see, Pablo Iglesias or Pedro Sánchez in their speeches in the Congress being just mistakes or out of context sentences. The evolution of the account has been simultaneous to the evolution of the party. In April 2016, the account was created and published one photo where they achieved a number of 569 likes. Nowadays, their photo with more likes is near the 70,000. This great change has been because the high WhatsApp video campaign in order to increase their Instagram followers. It is easy to see the difference between the videos where they had many more views and the photos where they start growing. If we analyze it deeply, we will see that the inflection point in Vox Instagram was the first meeting in Palacio Vistalegre. From that point on, it's very difficult to find a photo that stays under the 10,000 likes. Nowadays, it's the most followed party in Spain, and having even the two accounts, Vox Jóvenes and Vox España.